In 2026, it means something a little different if you're racing in Atlanta. Just like how the Homestead Motorsport Complex became the Homestead Miami Speedway, or how the Phoenix Raceway became the IMS Raceway. Driving at the mile-and-a-half venue in Hampton, Georgia, you might be on the same plot of land as you were just a few years ago, but it comes now with a new name. Welcome, race fans, to EchoPark Speedway. It's our second trip to Atlanta so far in the 2026 Integrity Tour, but it is a little bit different. It's a mile and a half. It's the same racing layout with some tweaks. And by all regards, it is the only miniature super speedway in the United States. We've got ourselves more than 30 drivers ready to test it out for a 200-mile slugfest at speeds of almost 200 miles an hour. Welcome back to coverage live on FTN Broadcasting. I'll be your host for tonight's broadcast. I'm David Kreutz, commentating and producing. It's going to be a show well worth watching. Qualifying is the first of those shows to watch, and it all begins now with 2 minutes and 33 seconds left on the pylon as drivers are set to take their times. We've been seeing over the last 9 races the domination of 2 drivers. James Thurston with 5 wins, Ethan Lane with 4. But anyone can be quick at this racetrack. It's as easy as putting the throttle down 100% and keeping it there. That's right, much like Daytona and Talladega, qualifying and much of the race day action will come down just to being the quickest. How are you the quickest? Well, in qualifying, being slightly better at the same line. In racing, it's a little bit more difficult to determine. At the line, Cody Smith finds himself at the top of the board by 1/1000th of a second. We'll look back to James Thurston and Ethan Lane, but I wouldn't expect them to shock the world on this qualifying run and go firmly to the pole. That's at least my prediction anyway, as Thurston puts down his warm-up lap. Currently, it's David Davis now up top. And it really could be anyone. Davis gets it up to P1 with a 31.51 second lap. For him, it would be his first pole position of the season and his first career Integrity Racing League pole. As it stands, he's up there with about 1 minute and 16 seconds left. Don't know what Thurston's got in store. Looks like Lane went down to pit road. James is now 11th in the championship standings. He finds himself right on the playoff bubble, and he has found a way to win back and forth and back again. Tom Wetmore, he's going to need this one. He gets up to the top of the charts, followed quickly by Brock Potter. Thurston can't even make the top 10 on that first lap, but Nick Tarbuck does, so notable to note, some of the best drivers are still consistently there. It's just a matter of who's slightly quicker on the racing line. DJ Stagner comes across the stripe, and this time through for the 64, he will go 24th. Not the most impressive of a showing just yet, but he's got 30 seconds, just enough for him to finish this final lap. Coming down the back straight, in the nick of time, he'll get this lap completed. It's going to be a close call, but it will be his. James Thurston does get it up to second, but Tom Wetmore is still the fastest. Stagner's a great super speedway driver. What can he do at the line? It looks like he'll go third. DJ Stagner will take it third. He'll be surrounded by a Potter, but not his teammate in Ryan. 2 Potters in the top 10. It's Brock Potter, the best of them, but your pole sitter is an undeniable number 51. That is Tom Wetmore. Wetmore takes it up to P1, and he is at the point with a quick time, a 31.479. Checkered flag on qualifying order has been determined. So with that being said, just a few moments away, 5 minutes in fact, until the green flag flies, could be anyone's race. Qualifying timing is so close to one another. We'll take an in-depth look through that lineup right now just to preface it. At the top of the board is a driver we mentioned, Tom Wetmore, but he only beats out James Thurston by 18/1000ths of a second. And I tell you what, compared to all the other gaps you're going to see in this lineup, that is pretty big. Wetmore found over a 10th, or rather a 100th of a second, and got ahead of James Thurston. Thurston was only able to find 2 thousandths on DJ Stagner, as Stagner did Brock Potter. 9/1000ths of a second back, you see David Davis, driver number 13. A 31.51 second lap is good for 5th and his highest qualifying spot of the season. Cody Smith, 31.524. He'll get himself up into the 6th place with a little bit of a gap between 5th and 6th, all but erased 6th to 7th. Ryan Bean was 1/1000th of a second slower than the man ahead of him. It costs him a spot. He'll start in 7th place. Robert Richardson, 100th off, finds himself in 8th. And 2/1000ths behind that is driver the 22, John Steele, who keeps his distance of 2/1000ths above Ryan Potter for 10th. Ethan Lane and Nicholas Ward are separated 2/1000ths amongst each other, and then you go back to Nick Tarbuck, the gap doubles to 4/1000ths, and then we have a dead heat. In fact, it is a 3-way tie. Nick Tarbuck, John DeBarro, and, of course, as you see there, Don Stevenson. 31.551. Run 3 times from the 13th place in Tarbuck to the 15th in Don Stevenson. Identical laps, practically the smallest edge, a 10,000th of a second maybe, is given to Nick Tarbuck over the other two. Zach Schrintenall, the number 20, goes 16th with Bobby Keith 17th place. Alex Kim is 1,000th behind him. He will go then in 18th as Joe Yakes and Austin Cardules wrap up the top 20. 21st place is Josh Gallagher, the driver. The number 96 is settled in well. He finds himself 21st. Kevin Matz, 5,000 slower than he, goes 22nd as Sean Kalist and Trevor Trago wrap up the top 24. 25th place on the lineup is Eli Cars tonight, and now the deficit starts to become a little bit bigger as Sam Nieto and Nolan Potter get far slower laps than the rest of the field, and Jacob Fife putters for a 45-second circuit. Whether intentional or not, Jacob's antics will have him at the back of the lineup in 28th place as Brant McClendon is the first driver without a time. Brant starts in 29th. Brad Patton, 30th place. 31st goes to the Aaron Eads machine. 32nd, Richard Smith. 33rd, Randy Fiash. And last of all is Eric McFarland. Eric with the Roadhouse Racing Brigade that are also at the top of the board. Bookend the field, the 33 at the back, the 51 at the front. You'll see, again, James Thurston on the front row, but no telling who dominates this one as Tom Wetmore finds himself with the pole position, a much-needed boost for a season that has yet to produce a win for the 51. Rare, and he's looking not for a repeat of 2024. Qualifying lineup is set. 34 on the field, 17 rows. Wetmore is your leadoff man in just a minute's time. We got ourselves only 1 minute before we head to that starting lineup. Let's talk a little bit more about what's in store. 134 laps of racing. That'll come out to about a 200-mile race on the dot. So, very similar to what we've seen at other intermediate-style circuits. 4 tire sets, including the one you start on, so 3 extra sets on pit road. And track conditions right now, they are in the favor of the driver. Track temperature is only 92 degrees Fahrenheit, one of the lowest we've seen in Atlanta in the past couple of years. Ambient temp is 85 degrees, and we are moving quickly toward the night. Winds are southwest bound at only a mile an hour by the time the race begins. So, drivers are in for a treat. It is not going to be hard at all to pilot and command these cars with confidence. Low track temp, very, very little wind. All things considered, I think these drivers are in for an easy one when it's all said and done. Tom Wetmore, you see him there pulling out of pit road one final time, but it's no use now as practice and qualifying and final warm-ups have all come and gone. Next is the big test. 134 laps, 200 miles at the fastest pace in motorsport. Welcome to the Miniature Superspeedway. Now, under the name Atlanta Motor Speedway, we've gone to both configurations since 2024. Don Stevenson, in fact, collected a chaotic victory at the now known as EchoPark circuit. That was his first and only win of the 2024 campaign, able to extend his winning streak in seasons through that year thanks to last lap antics. So, With that being said, we've been to this track before. It looks a little bit different. Walls are painted white once again, much like the original Atlanta Motor Speedway. The banking, though, still as high as it gets, just under 30 degrees across all four corners, and a narrow front straightaway mean that it's fast, but it's also very, very difficult to go for multi-wide racing, anything past 2 wide. Full lineup is ready, and the iRacing pace car is set to bring them through. The last 2.5 months of racing in the Integrity Racing League have been pretty easy to predict with regards to who's winning and when they're winning. Take it back to April 21st when James Thurston made his debut. He's won 5 races since then. Ethan Lane has gotten himself 4 victories in that time frame. It has not been the best of times for Lane. Thurston has simply put just been the best driver on the track. And correction, Lane has gotten 5 victories since the start of the April month, or rather March 31st onward. However, it's been 3 victories since Thurston came to town, 5 for James in that span. It's been a great couple of days for James Thurston. 63 days of dominance between 2 men, and that is the longest streak so far this season. It could very well be broken tonight by any one of these drivers. I wouldn't say there's one race favorite that you're looking at. You make it to 5 laps to go, you're as good a shot at winning as any other driver behind you. But before one finishes first, we must finish. And there's a long journey ahead to the checkered flag. It begins here and now. Tom Wetmore, James Thurston, DJ Stagner, and Brock Powder get away with Cody Smith as we are green from EchoPark. So, just looked up what EchoPark is. I'm not sure if all the fans in the audience are well aware of what exactly EchoPark is, because depending on where you live, could be something different. About 3 miles away from where the FTN studios are at tonight, there is a pool called EchoPark, but the brand that is sponsoring this Atlanta Motor Speedway circuit is a used car and SUV site for purchasing and renting, to clarify. Lowe's Motor Speedway with Charlotte was pretty iconic, all things considered. Lowe's has been a big brand in stock car racing for the longest time, but EchoPark is relatively a newcomer when it comes to their partnership with the sport of stock car racing. The partnership only just begun in June of last year, and so there's still a lot of history to be written, but I think it's fitting that Atlanta Motor Speedway has a new name to go along with its new configuration. The Atlanta Motor Speedway has been many things over the years. It started in 1960 as a 1.5-mile circuit with 24-degree turns that was a straight-up oval. Then it became the quad oval intermediate that was most well known in 1997, ran like that until 2022. And now, this miniature superspeedway style has been as is for the past half-decade, the better part of the best half-decade. David Davis leads the way. Not a lot of changes up at the front of the field. It's been a calm opening stretch, and that's probably what we expect to see. And we say probably because we're basing this off of what we've seen in previous races here. Saturday night on FTN, the Universal iRacing Series took to the Atlanta Motor Speedway, but they did so in that old configuration. Drives a lot different, I'll tell you that much. It is a very different look. So what you got to keep in mind is that while this is a 1.5 miles, its speed comes from its high banking. The most exciting thing about it is more than 25 degrees of banking, which at this point in the track's existence have been pushed to 28 degrees. Previously, from 1960 until 2022, this track had 24 degrees of banking. Now, 28. Slowly but surely coming to rival circuits like the Daytona International Speedway or Talladega. And that's where the Mini SuperSpeedway name has come from. These guys are going a good 183 and no signs of letting off the gas. So far, largely single file as Robert Richardson takes it up to second. Richardson is now 15th in the championship standings, and after a rocky start to his year, he's had himself a pretty good last few months, showing up in the top 10 conversation a lot more, getting himself some solid finishes. Top 15 is not a bad place to be. He's alongside guys like Alex Kim, Cody Smith, Nolan Potter, Brock Potter as well. The top 10 guys have been pretty solidified all year long. James Thurston might knock Trevor Trago out tonight, but otherwise, it's been pretty firm up there. The battle to make it in, that last step, which is now going to be Trevor Trago on from here, well, it's going to be very difficult. Not to say that James Thurston is guaranteed a good run tonight. Starts solidly, qualifies second, but has fallen back a few spots already. Looks to be comfortable, fading early as everyone gets in line. A lot of long form, single file action. Nine laps in at 134. Aaron Eads in the 0-1 is on the high side of the circuit here. And he's in one of the small pockets of drivers that are trying to make it work up there. Right now, the inside is more than king. It really is the only way through, and that's where the leaders are, and that's where they've kept themselves. Eleven laps in out of 134 now. Brock Potter up on the outside. He sees Kevin Matz again. Can't quite get to him. So strategy is also going to be something that comes into mind from the beginning of this race, and we'll discuss what's expected right now. The one stopper is needed no matter what. What it comes down to is we have 134 laps ahead of us. The halfway point is at about lap number 68, and with that being the case, drivers can go about 100 miles on their fuel cell if stretched perfectly. Now, David Davis is in a bad spot when we talk about stretching and going all the way perfectly. In fact, he's probably going to have the worst shot of doing that of anyone. One goes up high. It's a 99. Ryan Potter. Now it's starting to look like we've got ourselves a two-car tandem. Not in formal form yet, but those are teammates. And the Holden Wiener Chevy Camaro is getting its time in the sun. DJ Stagner up top, another driver who's looking to claw out of a points hole, a big one, needs a night like this. He is now down to 29th in the championship standings and is in a difficult position in terms of making it up into the playoff fight. "13 laps in out of 134. David Davis has been the dominant force early on, looks to be very comfortable at the head of the field. It's good to see out of a driver that has gotten his time leading, but it looks like is now really being trusted with that captaining position. Robert Richardson, Daytona winner Alex Kim, another driver well worth trusting in a venue like this. He's right in his back pocket, in Richardson's back pocket. Maybe they can break away if anything. Super speedways have not been all too common on the calendar so far this year. Talladega is going to come to Integrity Racing League, one final super speedway, the 18th of August for 94 laps. That will be the last super speedway, and then from there we'll have ourselves, well, simply put, no more of this type of racing. So it's been pretty uncommon this season. Alex Kim looking to do something that we don't talk about often because it's very difficult to do. Only one driver has done it at one track, but now it's about track type sweeping the super speedways and going for the full throttle Triple Crown. Thomas Bressi in the Monday Night Ignite Series was able to win both races at Talladega in the 2023 season. Doing so, including a flag-to-flag 213-mile victory in which he didn't lead every lap, but they ran every lap without caution. Ty Smith in the chat room, thank you for stopping by, rooting for two of the best put-together guys at any super speedway on any given night. Ryan Potter's been looking better and better by the week, but a 21st place finish last week was not at all representative of how strong he was in his previous running at Chicago. He definitely had top 5 pace, aided perhaps by some help with DJ Stagner. Stagner retired early, not a good night for him, but it could be now with these two together again, a great night in the making. Thurston in the 3. Now eyeing a move on the outside on Alex Kim. He's got pole sitter Tom Wetmore just behind him. Wetmore, another guy worth trusting at these super speedways. Last year, he was the winner at Daytona. And as well, the winner at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Two of the crown jewels. Now, those were two big highlights on an otherwise underwhelming season for the 51 team. Still looking to put it back together. Show a semblance of the driver we've seen over the last few years. Wetmore, points-wise, is 36th in the championship with only 6 races to this point that have been counted. It's been difficult for him. A lot of provisional races. And so the championship race for him is basically all but out of the question. Now trying to make the most of this second half. Alex Kim to third. Again, Davis and Robert Richardson, 1 and 2, who have seen no separation. Gotta say, if I am any driver in this mix right now, I would love to be Robert Richardson. Richardson is up in front. He's had no problems, no challenges. He's been in the mix. And best yet, he has been ahead while saving fuel. He doesn't have to be full throttle the whole time. David Davis is in a bit of a, I would say, worse position objectively. The reason is, yeah, he's leading, and leading is great, but he's leading and burning up so much fuel compared to everyone around him. And when you're burning that much fuel, the problem then becomes, what do you do with the pit cycle? He's losing about 5 to 10 laps compared to the regular or the pit stop savvy drivers who are able to save just that much more on him. Brad Patton is in 8th, and he is up 21 places. He just caught our eye there in the red, white, and blue number 9. A driver who, again, chooses not to qualify. He's made that his thing this year, and he's made that his thing through his entire tenure. Tuesday Night Tour here in Integrity. Oh, a bit of a stack up. 1, 2, 3. DJ Stagner gonna have to pull down. Aaron Eads is around. We got trouble. Yellow flag for the first time tonight. Everyone else gets away. It's Aaron Eads who spins and the yellow flies. The swamp comes undone, but looks like the biggest victim of this one is Aaron Eads. A stack up becomes a little worse, but not a big pile up. Take a watch again as DJ Stagner pulls to the inside. Potter goes up, and DeBarro just tags the 0-1. And Aaron Eads goes around in front of the field. Kevin Matz with a lick. Gets in the wall, stays straight. DJ Stagner down to the inside. Josh Gallagher, luckiest man on the circuit, I would say. If he really got away with that. No, he didn't. Brushed up front for Gallagher. Stagner slides out of the trouble. Goes to pit road. Take a ride on board with DJ Stagner. First from the backside perspective. And they will pull it up front. Stagner's black flags are cleared as he got spun right out. Looked like he had it saved. Just a bump from John DeBarro. The getaway with minimal damage. Lose a lot of track position. A good view of the wreck. A good view is always better than being in it. DJ Stagner, John DeBarro, Josh Gallagher and company all involved in this one. As DeBarro does decide to stay out, as does Trevor Drago, Josh Gallagher, and Ethan Lane. Thurston is the winner off of pit road. He'll find himself fifth. After the first pit stop cycle of the day, Brad Patton jumps up to sixth. Coming to one to green this time by. John DeBarro will be the leader of restart number 1 at lap 27. DeBarro and Gallagher decide to go down a pit road. So they'll be conceding their high positions on the track and giving it up to Trevor Drago. Drago and Lane are the lone holdouts. I don't think tires are going to be a worry for them. If we go long, fuel definitely will be. Track temperature's gone up just a tick. Gone up to 94 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's the warmest it has been all race, but still under the triple digits. And the sun continues to set. 27 laps in, and conditions continue to favor the field as we'll get back at it for our first restart of the night. Ryan Potter will escape the madness while teammate DJ Stagner now finds himself all the way back in 32nd. But the driver who started third, definitely not at all where he would like to be nor expect to be, but he's got a teammate up there looking to hold the fort as we return to green. Back in business. Led now by Trevor Drago. Green flag will fly. Drago in control, but the botch start off the inside gives Ethan Lane just a little bit more. He'll be quicker, quick enough to get the launch. Ethan shot away well on an independent basis, but he just didn't get the help, and so he'll fall behind slightly. James Thurston now is the leader of the inside. Looks like Brad Patton gets a great run to bring Lane back up there. Patience plays out over this lap for Ethan Lane. He'll lead for the first time tonight. James Thurston in the best spot he's been in all race. The Juggernauts have found a way to the front once again, and really it's difficult to imagine when they wouldn't be up there, but Ethan Lane decides to bow out. That looks pretty voluntary to me. He's going to fade back, and Lane will line himself back up in the middle of the circuit, getting right behind Robert Richardson, and so he's going to be in just about the 11th place, if that. Coming across the cycling loop, the scoring loop that is, Ethan Lane is going to drop down to 13th place, and it looks like he'd rather be in the mid-pack than be in the thick of the fight. Brad Patton, new race leader from 29th place on the grid. He's the biggest mover now by a long shot, and he leads the way with Thurston now pushing. Side-by-side look between these two drivers I wouldn't be too shocked if David Davis wouldn't be afraid to get in the mix. He's fearless all night long. And so it looks like your former race leader would like to snatch that title right back. James Thurston is leading, although right now I really don't see any advantages to being the first driver in this train. Being up and ahead where it's single file, oh, absolutely, there's a big advantage. But I gotta tell you this much. What is going on if you are the leader for a long period of time? The only thing that I can consider is that you're gonna see fuel loss at a high degree. And that is wearing yourself out, draining more and more of the fuel cell compared to everyone else around you. It's a big competitive disadvantage. Eric McFarland from dead last is in sixth. Now, this isn't too much of a surprise for two reasons. One, he's with Roadhouse, a big group of drivers that can pull themselves up the ladder. And two, he's with Tom Wetmore. And when you're with Wetmore at a circuit like this, one of the best teams to be with is Roadhouse, captained by Wetmore at these super speedways. He's also got John Steele to work with. Steele, he found himself with a great qualifying spot. We haven't even mentioned the early successes for John, who qualified 9th and runs 2 spots ahead of that. Better than average for John Steele, that's without a doubt. And so, he finds himself right up there at McFarland. Right now, Eric is 19th in the championship standings, so he's slowly but surely getting himself into the fight with some of the best of them. John Steele, we haven't seen all too much of him this season. He's definitely not one of the guys going out there and fighting for it, but McFarland does have a claim to maybe the top 15 in points. For John Steele, this is only his second appearance on the campaign, and so we haven't seen too much of him. He's finally getting a chance to show it. He's right up there in the thick of it as if he never left. Steele with teammates McFarland and Wetmore. James Thurston, Ryan Bean have been first and second now for the past 5 laps. They look to be pretty comfortable with one another. Comfortable enough where I don't think they're going to have any issue keeping themselves in the lead if they want it, or backing off with intent. "35 laps in out of 134, sliding, skidding in the back. There is trouble, one in the wall. Kevin Matz goes around as well. Yellow flag will fly. Drifting out of the way is Eli Cars. And a dramatic escape for the 82, but that does not overshine the incident. At least not yet. Here's a look at what happened. We'll put it in slow motion. John Steele went to the inside. It begins with Alex Kim. Take a look at this. Kim making contact and getting up there with Alex Kim. John Steele got into the 73. They met each other in the same racing real estate. Hit. And Alex goes up there. Kevin Matz also slides. A lot of drivers able to avoid this one, but Josh Gallagher does retire as this incident occurs. Don Stevenson gets away. Austin Cardules finds misfortune again and gets a nasty hit out of it. And Eli Cars slides out. Take a look at this escape from the 82 of Eli Cars. Now I know if James Clotton is watching, he'll be all over that move. Eli Cars will escape, but he is one of the lucky, and I'll say one of the exceptions. Don Stevenson got by, but Kevin Matz, Austin Cardules, Alex Kim, some of those who were not as lucky. And the caution flies for the second time today at lap number 38. James Thurston and Ryan Bean maintain top positions. Restart is set to be at lap number 40. Ryan Bean in the number 28, Eric McFarland in the 33, the 51 of Tom Wetmore, the 99 of Ryan Potter make up your current top 5. Potter, slowly but surely seeing his rear view mirror teammate DJ Stagner get at least a little bit closer. For DJ, not the start of the night he would have wanted, but while he was involved in the first caution, he didn't get a lot of damage. He's just got some scuffed up bodywork. Enough so that he's still quick, still making his way back up. Last time by, he was scored in the 16th position. He will restart there, and the expectation is he'll keep things moving. Lap 40, restart number 2. As it stands, 32 drivers on the lead lap. Only one driver choosing to retire early in Josh Gallagher. Grant McClendon did not make it to the start. Thurston and Bean led the entirety of that last run. David Davis and Robert Richardson led the first run. Richardson is still there. He finds himself currently in the 9th position. Green flag flies for the second time under restart conditions. It's James Thurston with a great jump on the inside. No denying it, no debating it. It is all Thurston as he heads towards turns 1 and 2. Sun has all but fully set at the EchoPark Speedway. James Thurston is in control, eyeing what could be win number 6 on what has already become an illustrious 2026 season for him. Now, I wouldn't expect him to win this one tonight. I wouldn't really expect Ethan Lane to either, but I think the narrative on James Thurston has flipped quick for a one-time, one-appearance driver who wins on his first attempt to becoming a driver who is now, over the past 2 months, really turned up the heat and become the de facto dominant man in the Integrity Racing League. Road courses swept and wins at the intermediates that previously seemed impossible to grasp. If it's not Lane, it has proved to be Thurston, and maybe since his arrival, it's been the other way around. A shock to imagine that anyone would turn the table, but it looks like if anyone's going to turn the table or turn the tie or bring some sort of parity, it's the number 3. For that point, Ethan Lane had already racked up 5 wins. His pace has been curbed slightly, but going into tonight, the 2 winningest drivers on the season have winning percentages of 50% or more with respect to their starts. And we are now 17 races in to a 30-race season. That's pretty crazy, because that means the 2 drivers have been dominant enough to win almost everything. 13 out of 17 races, including this one, so 13 out of 16 so far on the year. One wobble, that's Ryan Potter. Potter is way low. He'll force himself. Oh, contact! Big wreck! Now take a look back, and you'll see what caused it. An instant replay as the yellow flag flies. John Steele up into Stagner, and chaos after. What exactly happened that brought us to this point? I don't think there was contact there with Ryan Potter, but we're going to see. Taking a look. Richard Smith was low. Just a bad nudge. Sent the 22 down. And Steele flies up into DJ Stagner for your third yellow. Pulverizes him. Lane also gets a piece of the damage. And the yellow flag is out. DJ Stagner is on the wrecker right now. Ethan Lane pummeled front and back. Don Kalis just getting down to pit road as we speak. He's got front end damage too. Jacob Fife able to get away rather clean from that one. But it's destruction. And it begins small contact. And it looked like maybe a small lift off the back of Richard Smith. But when your banked corners are that steep, 28 degrees Fahrenheit, you're coming off with that much momentum, you're building speed. Every small nudge can become a very big problem. Yellow flag is out. Third of the day, but by far the biggest, as James Thurston is still your leader. Thurston holds fort. The expectation for him, well, lead at least a few more laps and try to get into the stage break. Stage is expected to come into effect lap 68. Thurston, previously the leader this season in stage wins at 3, was usurped by Thurston with 4. Those two drivers have gone back and forth for that accolade over the last 5 or 6 weeks. Been a little bit of a difficult season for everyone else to win stages, but there has been more parity with that than anything else. Nate Campbell has 2 stage wins, and a litany of other drivers have at least 1. But it's between Thurston and Lane, a 5 versus 4 now. Thurston eyes his 5th stage win of the season to even the score. Granted, Thurston has collected more since his arrival than Lane has, but that is a trend that has been basically replicable across all races with them head-to-head. Ryan Bean on the outside, Tom Wetmore on the inside. Wetmore losing a teammate and big in that wreck. He still has Nicholas Ward on the circuit, running in 13th right now. Eric McFarland is back down to 20th with minimal damage, if any. But John Steele, I don't know what the expectation is for this 22 for the rest of the night. I guess it's to stay on the lead lap. And it sucks because a small push shot that car astray. And a great return race it could have been has come back down to earth. It'll be lap 48 for the driver of the 3, James Thurston. All eyes are on he in the 28. DJ Stagner now going 2 laps down thanks to major compounded damage. Josh Gallagher, the only retiree. Stagner, the only left on pit road as it stands. And so he will have to, for the 2nd week in a row, watch the swamp from afar. Ryan Potter leads that crew. And let's see what they can do alongside the rest of the leading contenders. James Thurston gets the jump. Green flags out. 51 of Tom Wetmore. He's also right there. Fires away. And it's first and second ahead as we approach lap 50. A little bit of a scattered pack behind. They weren't able to get the run the top three guys did. Leaders get away, everyone else not so much. A little bit of time now to pull it all back in. Patience, as always, is very critical at a track like EchoPark Speedway. Much like Daytona or Talladega, racing like it's the last lap is not going to do you any favors over the course of a 200-mile race. Until it is the last lap, you gotta bide your time, which is very, very difficult. The thing about it is the problem of keeping yourself at bay when you're that fast, when you're very fast. I mean, every one of these drivers can go north of 185 miles an hour, north of 190 if they really push it. So how do you keep yourself throttled back? Keep that aggression away from moments like this and keep them for the late race moments. Well, right now, the formation a lot of these drivers are in should do a lot of that work for them. Double wide, not seeing three wide. Very hard to go three wide here, but if you do see it, that's effectively a telltale sign. These drivers are ready to push each other to the limit. Ethan Lane watching back there. He's in 24th. But I got a feeling his car is struggling to give in a little bit. And while he's with the draft, he's not making any move. Take a ride on board with Lane. We'll keep it quick. I'm thinking he's definitely got damage. Enough that he's just hanging on. Maybe I'll take that back. Seems quick enough to get right up to K-List here. But at a certain point, damage makes your bodywork a parachute at these super speedways. It's hard because a certain amount of damage, and you got to stay on the throttle the whole time unless you got no chance at keeping with these leaders. Lane looks like he's still got a shot despite being caught up in that wreck. He'll go three wide here. And is not afraid at all to move out of Sean K-List's way. Tom Wetmore now chases after James Thurston. James leads, and I figure he's got the intention of at least taking the stage win, even if he doesn't anticipate a race victory. Not particularly surprising that Thurston's going for this method. He's done it before at races where it's been harder for him to keep the lead versus Ethan Lane. And I guess he's going to do it once again just to get some guaranteed bonus points. Sam Nieto up top. He's side by side with Robert Richardson. Robert, as it stands, having one of his better nights still. Qualified in the 8th position, runs one spot above it. Got some good laps in second, playing in the catbird seat to David Davis. If those two get together, I think they'll be a pretty good pair, especially toward the middle or the end of this race. They seem to work with each other and collaborated well without any incidents or problems or anything of that sort. So I'm looking at them to do something pretty good together if they can just get together. And right now, Richard Smith is the only driver that stands in their way. Smith, a confident pusher at these super speedways. He's gotten himself up into the top 5 and has not left. He knows his equipment. He seems pretty strong in terms of operating it as needed. And so I figure for him, the end goal is going to be just stay up here no matter what lane you're in. David Davis and Richardson might be a good pair, but that's none of his concern. He holds his own. .57 laps in out of 134. Thurston, Wetmore, Davis, Bean, Nieto, the top 5 as they run. And all the way down, tight double file and not a position to be taken easy. The top 10 has grappled itself up to a 0.6 of a second deficit between first and last amongst them. That's the closest it's been over the course of this run, and it's only gotten tighter. Now, when the 2x2 racing gets tight, it does mean that one mistake can set the field off. And any of these mistakes could be huge, with more than 5 to 10 drivers getting involved, or perhaps even more than that, as we close in on the mid-stage. Ryan Bean all over James Thurston, but now a shot to the inside. Here comes Tom Wetmore. .59 out of 134 here. Wetmore getting blocked, and James Thurston trying to do the rare thing, but the very possible thing, of blocking both lanes. Take a ride on board now with Wetmore. As the sunlight is all but gone, the stadium lights are up. Wetmore goes high. He can't be blocked that time. Thurston tried it. Yeah, he tried, but it will not be enough. Still enough to hold Wetmore at bay, but he can't get up on the top there. A little bit less hesitation, and that could have been a race-changing wreck between your top 2. Wetmore wants that lead, and now he's vying for it and putting a little bit more effort. .23, Richard Smith, sent 3 wide middle, and he's got no friends out there. Take a look at this. Smith is caught up in what has been affectionately or unaffectionately called a sucker hole by drivers like Darrell Waltrip. When you're in that position, you're going nowhere, or if you're going somewhere, you're going nowhere good. And for Smith, I think he got pretty lucky, only falling back to 15th. Remember, we've got closer to 30 drivers on the lead lap. 31. Back to Alex Kim. John Steele is actually not the last driver on the lead lap, but he is in jeopardy of going a lap down since he's not with the lead group, as is Kim. There are 29 drivers with the leaders, and the last of them is Randy Fiash. He's right here in the number 55, and then you go again up to the front of the field and you see that leading group. So, falling back to 15th in a pack of 30, not the worst thing in the world, and something that is more than reparable for the 23's chances. Less than 5 to go on this stage as we come across the line again. Thurston wants the stage win. For his championship hopes, I think the stage win here might actually be more valuable than a race win. Guaranteed bonus points regardless of his finishing position. The more he can get, the better. Tom Wetmore to the point. He gets by using Ryan Bean on the high side, but it looks like now James Thurston just close enough to nudge. Oh, Wetmore down to the inside. That was seen coming a long time ago. Tom Wetmore just gets a ridge on the back end from James Thurston. He's lucky not to be turned. Thurston is not playing around when it comes to this stage win, but guess what? That didn't even get him the edge. Look at Ryan Bean. Bean's got it now, and Ryan has the entire field behind him. Ryan is fighting for second in the championship. 15 points back on Nick Tarbuck. This would eliminate 10 of those points in the gap instantaneously. Tarbuck is not in the top 10. One more lap to settle a stage win for Ryan Bean. This would be his second of the season, making him the third winningest driver of stages in 2026. And it looks like so long as he completes the next lap, he'll have it. Thurston blocks up high to maintain as many stage points as he can. At the line again, Ryan Bean's got it there. Sam Nieto is all over James Thurston. And now, the number 3 is pushed down. Well, to begin the second half, it's pretty clear James Thurston takes control. And now the home stretch begins with driver number 3 back on top. Ryan Bean leads to the halfway marker. And so it begins. 67 laps to go, becomes 66 remaining now. Thurston, Nieto, David Davis, Ryan Bean, Joe Yakes, the new top 5. Emphasis on new. We got guys like Yakes who we have yet to see inside of the top 5 all throughout the day. Now it appears a different group longing up in front. .66 laps to go. Burn to 65. Cody Smith rides on board with the freight train above him. We'll ride on board with Cody here and show you the madness. Smith currently running in the 11th position, looking to break into the top 10. He's side by side with Nolan Potter for those honors. Track conditions are more favorable to the driver now than they ever were, although the ambient temperature is up a tick to 95. Little worry for humidity, and the ambient temperature will drop as the track temp rises, or vice versa. So as it continues to decrease the ambient temp, track temperature will get lower. Thinking that one more pit stop is in the cards for the field today. Many of these drivers last went down to pit road about 40 laps ago, and a lot of others going in about 30 laps ago. Either way, within the next 25 to 30 laps, the pit window opens without an incident. So with about 40 laps remaining, you'll have a majority of drivers jumping ship to pit road. Austin Cardules is in the top 10 fight. Now this would be big redemption for Austin, a driver who sometimes it feels like every week finds a way into a problematic situation, even if it's out of his own doing. Austin would love a race like this to pull things back together for him and really show what he's made of. He's 39th in points, and he's been with us for 14 races. It's just a lot of DNFs, a lot of incidents, and even in being involved in one tonight, this is the type of race that could save a season. Looking for a top 10 finish. Better yet, I'm sure he, like everyone else, is looking for a win. 60 laps to go. James Thurston has made it no surprise that he wants to lead as many laps as possible. But look who's there. The dynamic duo of David Davis and Robert Richardson. Did Richardson decide to go high with Davis? It looks like begrudgingly he will. Took him a long time to do it, but yes, the 1-2 of old is back. And they'll try to power around Thurston. What you can see in a moment like this for James Thurston is that he does not have anyone he can trust as a teammate or a partner. Richardson and David Davis have now gotten themselves to the front of the field. They've taken turns alternating leading laps. Oh, Thurston! Way down, saves himself. We're still green. Everyone gets away from that one, but only just. Man, oh man, a moment like that could have sent this race in the pandemonium. Playing his way back. Thurston now finds himself closer to the back end of the top 10. Not a fun moment for the number 3. Nolan Potter sees Thurston quickly make a move again to get by. He's going to try to go on a fast recovery route to save himself. Richardson is there with Sam Nieto. Zach Schrintenel continues to follow Nieto through corner after corner. Richardson has the lead and David Davis behind him. Again, that is perhaps the most powerful combination and team of them all. There is nothing better than having a partner at a super speedway. "54 laps to go. With time running out, pit stops are anticipated within the next 15 laps. Count it, 15. Eric McFarland in the 33 got away from John Steele's incident early on. Steele is still on the lead lap, but that might change just a few moments. Pulling back up on the Roadhouse man in the 22 and the Daytona winner, Alex Kim and John Steele alike are in a desolate circumstance. They're getting caught up to by the leaders. This is always anxiety-inducing. One driver making the wrong reaction, whether lapper or leader, could send this racetrack into a frenzy, the likes of which we have not seen all race long. Keep watching. It's happened before. In fact, it's even happened with some pretty good drivers. Wetmore and Nieto are right on each other here. James Thurston's back up to third. But this lead lapper circumstance could change the race entirely. 51 laps to go. Everyone's getting in double file order. And don't always blame the lappers, because if one driver on the lead lap doesn't have it planned out to get by, and they make an errant decision, that too can cost the field. It's about time now. Sam Nieto will be the leader. And John Steele not pulled down below the apron. Again, these drivers can keep themselves up there if they want to stay up. They're not obligated to drop down. Alex Kim passed. John Steele passed. Now these drivers are working lower and lower just to stay in the fight. John Steele's now in the middle of it. Alex Kim is close to the headliners. Close on pace too. I don't know what Steele's got in him. Steele's got a damn slow car. Oh, James Thurston to the inside. Can't make a pass. He'll keep himself together. Wow. Steele's got no choice. Alex Kim, in the meanwhile, is still there, but they're trying to move by him as well. .48 laps to go. Lappers and leaders interact well enough. I'm sure in the drivers' dream worlds, of course, they don't even have to deal with something as difficult as getting by them. but everything goes about as well as it should. And the field continues on. "47 laps to go. A difficult period, but a brief difficult period, brings the field back to business. 47 remains. The green flag has been flying longer now than it has for any other stint on the night. And I think without a doubt, green flag pit stops are not going to happen. Caution's out. Now, what caused it is the question. Take a look back here and see where exactly the issue was. 46 laps to go. And it looks like it happens in front of Ryan Potter's Jacob Fife. Here's a look. Jacob Fife in the 36 goes around. Nick Tarbuck also involved. Just looks like a big checkup on Fife's behalf, and Alex Kim, the lapper, was involved in an incident ahead of it. Three wide with Lane and David Davis. Kim was in the wall, Cody Smith, contact, minor, and that's what commits it. Chain reaction, Eli Cars and Jacob Fife going around. Caution's out, 45 laps to go. Alex Kim over driver chat says he feels there's nowhere else he could have gone, and I don't think that's ridiculous to claim at all. Yellow flag's out with 45 remaining. Unfortunately, two drivers with the same racing real estate. Top 10 currently goes as follows: Tom Wetmore, James Thurston, Zach Schrentenall, John Zabaro, Robert Richardson, Ryan Bean, David Davis, Ethan Lane, Bobby Keith, Nicholas Ward as your 10th driver. Coming across the stripe, it'll be 1 to green this time by. Restarting with 43 laps remaining. Wetmore, Nieto, and Thurston, the headliners. Brad Patton's up there in the mix as well in 4th. Brad Patton from 29th, up 25 places, is back in the mix. The biggest run of his season for Patton could come tonight. He's had himself strong years previous. I mean, last year, able to get away with 2 wins. So far, 17 races through. He just has not yet found the spark. But the Wanted Goons have a chance. Trey goes top 10 in the championship. It's been a good season for them as a 2-car entity. Brad Patton trying to hold down the fort in his own regard. He's 26th in points. A night like this could mean everything. Green flag's out. It's 43 laps remaining. Single file all the way down. James Thurston committing to the back end on Wetmore. Sam Nieto keeps third. Brad Patton filed in fourth. That is Ethan Lane as a lapper that they soar by. Ethan now one lap down due to connection complications. He's back on the racetrack. Looked to be an emergency connection failure as he slots back in line. He's now fighting with Alex Kim for that lucky dog. Horrible for Lane. The connection problems could stop him from a lead lap finish. .42 to go. Lane is now 2 laps down, so he went 1 lap down, got back on the track, got lapped again. Lane's going to bow out. Looks like he's continuously struggling. 84 a Lane, all the way to the back of the field now. And while he can keep up with the pack, the internet problem, that's just going to be too much for him to handle. Tom Wetmore and James Thurston side by side alongside each other. They've been like that for now 5 laps. Sam Nieto, Zach Schrintenel, John DeBarro, and Brad Patton. Still 2 by 2. Bobby Keith, 9th place, is looking for his best run of the season. The Ghost Gray, number 6, a driver whose paint scheme is unmistakable. But he hasn't yet seen the success he'd like. He's now right there with Brad Patton, working the top side. David Davis is going to slot up high and almost get up there with Joey Yakes. It's 2 by 2. A second pack is formed further behind. Aaron Eads, 23rd on back. That's 23rd to 28th. John Steele is now alone. Tube Tech Chevrolet holds fort. James Thurston, the leader on the outside. Robert Richardson hasn't found much room to move with David Davis, but they're together again. Don't be too shocked if they find an opening, it's theirs. They're the only committed pair we've seen besides the established teammates, the Roadhouse guys. The Power Smash Infinity Speed Motorsport crew was a one-man show. It's worked out pretty well so far. Sam Nieto's got John DeBarro. They've been together for a while, but that just seems to be somewhat a coincidence. .35 laps remaining. Make it 34. Pit stops are practically out of the equation. John DeBarro, Brad Patton, Nolan Potter, Bobby Keith, and Joe Yakes. The bottom half of the top 10 here. Hey, look who's there. Another Potter. That's Ryan Potter. So Ryan is back in the fight. Been a long night for the Swamp Motorsport crew. Again, starting great. And then moving on. Without DJ Stagner, it's been difficult, but Ryan Potter is back here. And while Stagner, again, not on the track, his second consecutive early absence on the racing circuit, he's got himself a shot. Tom Wetmore and Thurston have gone at each other so hard all race long. Wetmore was nudged out of line 5 laps before the stage break. I'm wondering how easy it's going to be for the 51 to let that go. Zach Schrintenel, 16th to 3rd. Big day for him, and we have yet to mention. Still trying to find something for the outside groove. The inside, again, preferential, but James Thurston has been blocking both. .34 of Nolan Potter is the leading Potter right now. Then you got Ryan. And Brock Potter has been up and down the lineup, but the number 14 is so far right in the thick of a further fight. Got to look a little bit further back to find Brock. He runs right now in 17th. Wetmore's outside surges. Just enough to lead the way. A slight advantage, but if you see that quarter panel of James Thurston, it means that it's Wetmore's lap. Tom will lead at the line. The differentiation, 32 one-thousandths of a second. Less than 30 remain. It's still nose to tail and door to door, basically everywhere around. Potter, far out. Wetmore, big lead. He's coming up on a teammate in John Steele. Another interaction with a big damaged lapper. John Steele's going to concede this time. I mean, there's no denying it. Only going 1 lap down, mind you. He's ahead of Ethan Lane. Horrible night for Lane if he doesn't get the yellows he needs. .27 laps to go. Tom Wetmore further behind as a sea of drivers lock step in grid formation. Cody Smith will also retire. .25 laps left next time by. Wetmore and Schrintenel. Oh! Wow! What a hit! Take a look back at that one as the yellow is out for a slam. Ryan Potter among others involved. Three wide. This is how it starts. It's close. And it becomes far too close for comfort. Sailing on the high side. Eli Cars. Wow. Can't blame Cars. Can't blame Davis there. Some netcode causes a big hit. McFarland spun around. Davis in the air. Ryan Potter also goes around. McFarland, Alex Kim is junked. Jacob Fife again slides away. The yellow flag flew quickly. And we will restart with just over 20 laps to go, if that. Nasty wreck. Wetmore and Thurston are shaping up to be the headliners for the rest of this fight. Zach Trentino, though. A surprise, perhaps, that he leapt up here, but not a surprise that he has stayed. Zach finds himself now running second in between those two stars, and is all eyes on his own first superspeedway win in integrity. Even better than that for Zach, it would be his first win of the season. Superspeedways are the breeding ground for parity, so it's no surprise that some of the underdogs of this season and this series are up there for the taking. Joe Yakes, Nolan Potter, Bobby Keith, John DeBarro as well, not to mention Robert Richardson, Eli Cars, Austin Smith in the top 15. All drivers who have no integrity really wins at all. This would be their first. Tom, wouldn't be too much of a surprise, get back to victory lane. And would be his 7th in the modern era on Tuesday nights. Coming to green with 22 laps to go. I'd like to thank our partners with all our track cameras, the car angles, what you see on the circuit, bringing it to you all night long. Whiplash Sim Cams, whose continued support has been second to none for FTN Broadcasting. Next time by, we're going to crank it up and bring you the uninterrupted sights and sounds of stock car racing in Hampton, Georgia. And if you would like that experience as well, visit their social media platforms. Whiplash Sim Cams holds a Discord server, a Facebook page, and an Instagram page as well, where you can learn more about what it takes to upgrade your Whiplash SimCam experience to the best possible. Facebook.com, look up Whiplash SimCams, or go to whiplash-media.com to learn a little bit more about iRacing's premier broadcast camera solution. We'll be right back after, not an interruption, but instead a crank it up, getting live and loud with stock car racing's finest at one of their fastest. Double file, ready to go at it with 22 laps remaining. It is Tom Wetmore holding down the fort and looking for the green flag. We're on our way. Green flag with a restart at 22 laps to go, and it's all Wetmore as we get it rolling and grab a gear. 19 laps remain. And as they cross the line again, it's only 18. Tom Wetmore and James Thurston have been on each other from the beginning of this one. Oh, we got contact further back. Is it a wreck? No. Everyone gets away, scraping on the wall. It's all good. In the meanwhile, Wetmore and Thurston have been the stars of this show as of late and have shown no signs of stopping it. And if there's any telling now, based on what we've seen, these two drivers are very likely going to be class of the field till the very end. Tom Wetmore's looking for a first win that would be season-defining and would put away all the not bad blood, but take away from some of the negative energy that this season has brought him to this point. Not at all a Tom Wetmore season by standard just yet, but in the limited time we've seen him as of late, he's proven again and again, still has it in him. James Thurston is looking for his 6th win, which would be remarkable, and to do it in just about 10 starts. His rate of conversion, victory after victory, run after run, has gotten better and better. 6 wins is the goal for him, and with Ethan Lane, his biggest rival, out, it's all up to Thurston. John DeBarro goes up high. He as well is also looking for that very illustrious post-victory. Nolan Potter, right there. Take a look on the bottom side. He'll chase James Thurston. '61 to DeBarro here. Toe to toe. As at the stripe, nothing comes of it. Jacob Fife in the 36. Currently runs in the 15th spot. Shuffling up and down, and nearly gets nudged off the quarter panel there from Robert Richardson. Pretty lucky not to have been turned right there. So he'll keep on. Tom Wetmore, the number 3, right behind him, had been the freight train leaders from the jump. Nolan Potter in this 3rd spot, looking pretty strong as well. Joe Yakes, John DeBarro, side by side. It could be now between DeBarro and Nieto. Oh, we got contact in the back. The field is not slowing, but Kevin Matz went around. Call on the field is yes, we're still green. A dozen to do it, and problems. For the 50 of Matz, the 90 of Kalist. Kalist inexplicably straightens it out. And really, what a job saving it from Sean Kalist. How did he do that? No yellow. We'll pull it back to the live feed after this. In truth, Sean Kalist just let it ride. And it worked. 10 laps to go. James Thurston still ahead with Tom Wetmore. Thurston, Wetmore. The last names have been ringing between these two for the better part of some 15-20 laps, idling and approaching the next step of the journey. No telling as to exactly when the breaking point will be. We're getting closer to it lap after lap. It could be the white flag, it could be the lap prior, we could see a caution. But to this point, it's still all James Thurston. Tom Wetmore on the bottom. Nicholas Ward, a teammate of Wetmore's, has gotten up into the top 3, however. This is when the narrative starts to change. Starting to look at what happens when drivers bundle up with some of their closest competitors who they're more familiar with. The 97 gets a good run, gets himself ahead of Wetmore here, wondering if they can get together. Eli Carr's on the wall. The lead lapper, and he gets a big shot up high. It appears that, unfortunately, for Cars, he's just going to fall way back and languish. That leaves us with about 15 in this leading bundle, all of which daring to go after the victory. Sam Nieto low, and dropping further to the bottom as far as he can get it. 6 laps remaining. Jacob Fife is surging 3 wide. And when you see 3 wide at EchoPark Speedway, it means time is up. The fun is up. This is do or die. For the win now, everyone's racing. 5 to go next time around. If we have ourselves a yellow flag after this, we are going to overtime. And it appears James Thurston will lead into the 5 to go marker. They're nudging, they're shoving, but nobody's giving in, and by no means has anyone given up. Oh, up the track! Richardson and DeBarro! They'll save it. They will save it. They're straightened. We're good to go. They'll fall back to the second pack, but we're still running up ahead. Joe Yakes, the last survivor. There's 10 for the win. 4 laps remaining. From upstairs, Thurston has a lead, but he's got 2 teammates now who are closer than ever behind him. Brad Patton lets go and lets it low, but that's going to give Tom Wetmore open access to his Roadhouse racing partner in crime, Nicholas Ward. Ward to the lead. Thurston now fading. 1 spot, 2 spot. Nobody wants to help the dominant man. He'll fall back to the bottom step of the podium with 3 laps to go. Ward, for the first time all season, with a clear glance at victory. And a win tonight would put him right back in the runner-up conversation for the championship. As Thurston gets swallowed, he'll have to rethink his strategy. Jacob Fife, now the last of them. Make it a total of 8 fighting for the win. Joe Yakes will survive, but Trago and Shrinthal are in a small pack with Nick Tarbuck. We're going overtime. Yellow flag on the field. Something happened, and the caution is out, and it's still going. Eric McFarland involved. Yellow flag is out as McFarland got loose and wrecked. I think that's the only reason why. Well, we'll take a look back one more time here. See if he avoided an incident. Or no, he spun after the yellow. We're looking at that right. Green, yellow. McFarland spins after the caution. And it could have been Kevin Matz. Take a look. Yeah, Aaron Eads and company got straightened, but that yellow flag is for Sean Kalis getting into Kevin Matz. Matz is the one with the biggest incident, and he will be derailed. Yellow will fly. 2 laps to go from Atlanta. Back downstairs, the leader at the time of the incident, Brad Patton. Thurston opted to go down to pit road. Interesting call. That puts him all the way in the back. everyone's going to cycle up and cycle out, but it is going to be Brad Patton leading. I don't know what you can expect as a driver now. One thing's for certain, with the favorites further back, it's anyone's race up front. One to green next time by. This will be the first of 3 overtime attempts. Take us beyond the scheduled range of laps. Give drivers a chance to finish it under green. Get to the white flag. Race will end at the conclusion of the white flag lap. If not, caution will extend the race for a second attempt at the same procedure. Brad Patton, Nicholas Ward, Sam Nieto, and Tom Wetmore. The front 4 that are set to get back to work on this first overtime attempt. Wetmore's in a good spot. He's got teammate in front of him, and Thurston way behind him. If it's anyone's race right now, perhaps it is Tom Wetmore's, but there's no guaranteeing he even hangs on for the next lap. iRacing pace cars had a light job tonight compared to most other superspeedway races. Very possible it'll be its last here and now. Down to the green. And back in business this time. Patton and Ward get away well. The green flag is out. Here we go. 2 laps to do it. White flag lap. It means the race will end then and there. If not, we'll extend further. Overtime number 1 is on its way. Watch the mid-pack. The field is at its mercy. Wreck. Yellow flag is out again, and we have trouble. Double overtime, Aaron Eads and David Davis. Take a look at this. Side by side, 0-1 of the 13. Just looks like they found each other and took it up the track. Small 2-car incident. Brings the caution out again. Yellow's out as these two find each other on the track. Davis giving a shunt to Aaron Eads, and he is not happy at all. It's been a great night for Davis, and he is all over the back bumper of that 0-1. He's going to let it go for now. Not without damage. 2 to go this time around. One more overtime attempt available in the case that this does not work out. So we will try it again, and making it to the white flag lap is now the goal. We are beyond lap 134. Get through one lap green. The race ends on the next lap. Sam Nieto, Joe Yakes, Nicholas Ward, Trevor Trago, Tom Wetmore all accompany here with one another. Wetmore dropped back a little bit, as did Ward. But they're still going to be on the same restart line, which is a very big deal if they want to get by and put it back up to speed immediately. And if that's the intention, well, I'll tell you this much. Very possible for Roadhouse. But Brad Patton and the Wanted Goons are not to sleep on as well. They run first and fifth, and they'll start in the same restart line. Better yet, Trevor Trago will be the leading man, or rather, his teammate will be the leading man. He can catch right back up. 3 to go, make it 2. As the checkered flag is imminent, we get to the white flag. This race will end then and there. One more caution circuit. And the anticipation builds high. For the field now, Wetmore, Patton, Nieto. I mean, all of these drivers really looking for their first win of the season. Except for Nolan Potter. Potter will be looking for a sneak second. Thurston fading way back to 16th. And Lane being effectively placed out of this one. He's in 24th. On the lead lap again, but in 24th. Two greats are due to have a very rare off night. Lane is finally getting himself back up to the leaders here. But the anticipation is on Brad Patton. The leading man of the Potters tonight is now Nolan Potter. He runs 8th to Brock's 13th. And again, Ryan Potter, 29, 28 laps down. Brad Patton, Sam Nieto, Joe Yakes. Green flag is due to fly. Back in business. Second overtime. And Brad Patton launches with a car length. It'll be his as he heads towards 1 and 2. Yellow flag, we're going triple overtime. Contact Fiash and Kalist. This race could end under caution. It's very realistic that happens now. Watch this. Eli Cars, David Davis, they got into each other. The yellow's out. The two-car incident, one more look. And a closer look. Gotta show you more of it. Nudge from the 82. Shot up and down into each other. The yellow flag flies. 3 laps to go. Brad Patton, Joe Yakes, Sam Nieto are still the podium. Another caution will conclude this race, and timing and scoring loops will determine the winner. Brad Patton just has to get a good launch. Odds are, with those 2 yellow flags beforehand, it's very likely this third one's going to come his way. Just has to be patient after. It'll launch off the green flag restart. And the race could be his. Joe Yates in a similar spot. He outdoes Patton. He could get himself a huge, huge win. Two laps to go. We head green one final time. Brad Patton swerving the tires as if, I can't imagine why. Tires have not meant too much. Going back and forth as if he's going to get some heat in them. Maybe to try to get a little bit of a better restart. Joe Yates, well, you see him right here. He did the same thing, but now he's straightened all up again. Tom Wetmore and Nicholas Ward, still teammates who have not gotten good launches, 5th and 7th, while Patton are now 1st and 4th. Team WG, as their emblem is on the door panels, is now fully ahead of the Roadhouse duo and are eyeing the victory and perhaps double podiums. For Trago, it would only need one more position. Side by side, triple overtime. The last laps of racing, no matter what. It goes like this. Caution ends it. White flag, we go to the checkered. There is no other attempt. For Brad Patton, it's a turnaround, much needed for this 9 team. Trevor Trago taking on the role of leading this team points-wise, something last year that was all Patton. Brad could still be the first to bring them to victory lane in a part-time venture, so long as he just makes it across the line 2 more times. It's not as easy done as it is said, but a caution could bring home the 9 team's first win 2025. James Thurston lies deep in the field in 14th. Unlikely he or Ethan Lane will win it. They're on the lead lap, but they're watching from afar. 2 laps to go. Final chance. Last green, white, checkered. We're back on our way. Brad Patton with a launch he needs. The entire field gets away. No problems in the mid-pack. 2 laps to go. This is it from Atlanta. Sam Nieto getting a nose full from Nicholas Ward. Back of the field. Stays sturdy as well. No problems. No caution. Sprinting all up high. Potter does his best to lay back, not causing a yellow. We'll get there. White flag, 1 lap to go. This is it, the final lap from EchoPark Speedway, and it'll be run under green. Sam Nieto's looking for a way around Brad Patton. He hasn't yet found one, but instead he'll find teammates to his high side. Sam Nieto's boxed in. Nicholas Ward now with a head full of steam as a teammate in Tom Wetmore looking to go low. Ward gets there with trouble. Yellow flag will not fly. There's trouble as Tom Wetmore is due to get through. The number 51 coming across the line, and he will get there. Tom Wetmore escapes the chaos. The only driver through. Thurston is second, Bean is third. What a finish for Tom Wetmore. Pulling it back to the moment that it all went astray. The moment he took the lead. Smoke show beyond that. This is the moment of truth. Right here. Coming through. Out of turn 4. There was no one even close. Wetmore is your winner. It was decided right here. Tom gets away, no one else stands a chance. Thurston goes from 14th to 2nd, and 3rd, Ryan Bean, who at the time of this incident was so far behind. I mean, take a look back. Thurston had to do the most as he dropped to the inside. But the verdict is in after triple overtime. Tom Wetmore is a winner again. And man, oh man, what a way to win it. Roadhouse Racing gets a much-deserved victory as Tom Wetmore comes through the checkers on top of Atlanta and on top of the Integrity Field. Wetmore will take the Polish victory lap, a long-awaited win for the 51 team, last getting the job done at Charlotte in 2025. Now coming back to the start-finish line to celebrate once more. Tom Wetmore, winner from EchoPark, and the night is his. We'll be right back with post-race coverage. Checkered flag, and it's all for the TubeTech Chevrolet. We'll be right back after this message from our friends at iRacing. Post-race coverage and interviews for this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
You have something in your mind, you are able to create it, build it, and then someone from the other side of the world came and tell you that they want to spread this product to 50 countries in the world, so it's a huge personal.
Now, aside from the timing and scoring error you're going to be seeing on your screen here, Ryan Potter did not finish second. These are your race results. Tom Wetmore, your race winner, gets it done over James Thurston and Ryan Bean in third, with Brad Patton fourth, Ethan Lane fifth, John DeBarro P6, Robert Richardson seventh, 8th is John Steele, 9th Aaron Eads, and the last man of the top 10 tonight is Eli Cars. 11th is then Sean Kalist, with 13th being Brock Potter, 12th Randy Fiash, 14th Nick Tarbuck, 15th Nolan Potter, Trevor Trago 16th, Zach Schrintenel 17th, 18th Jacob Fife, 19th being Eric McFarland, and 20th them being Bobby Keith. P21 is Austin Cardulos with 22nd, Joe Yakes 23rd, Richard Smith in the 23. Don Stevenson then finds himself P24. Nicholas Ward goes 25th. Sam Nieto 26th. 27th is David Davis. 28th is Kevin Matz. Ryan Potter finishes 29th today with Alex Kim, then in 30th. Final drivers on the day: Cody Smith, DJ Stagner, Josh Gallagher, and Brant McClendon. The 34th and last driver of them all on the racing circuit tonight. Roadhouse Racing has been looking for a moment like this for a long while. Something that has been incredibly difficult to come across for this team, but it finally has happened again. The 51 of Tom Wetmore is in victory lane. It's been a long time coming. It's finally his once more. The checkered flag goes to driver number 51. Let's hear from him. Nearly a year in the making, and a triple overtime thriller goes to the 51. Tom Wetmore, welcome back to victory lane.
It's good to be back, buddy. Good to talk to you one more time.
Now, I'll tell you this much. You had great pace from the beginning. You qualified on pole, but that doesn't tell at all the story of this race. What was it like for you, these 200 miles from your view inside the cockpit?
Yeah, we started lap 1 with a ton of talent, and then about lap 60, we decided to run out of it. So we were just up there, hanging out, living our best life, and decided to turn left across James Thurston there and send ourselves to the tail and work our way back up from there. And we had ourselves a couple green-white checkers incident at the end, but we get to do a bow for Rowdy tonight. So that rear quarter panel got rededicated here just this week. So fortunately, Vex Vision's able to put together a heck of a paint scheme, and I know he likes them best when they're parked in victory lane, so we were able to do that tonight and talk to you.
3 overtimes gave you an opportunity to work with the Roadhouse crew to get some great results. 2 top 10s for the team today. John Steele gets up there in the mix, and you and Nicholas Ward surging at the end. Didn't go to plan for Ward, of course, but almost as scripted to get you guys a shot at the win. So what was it like coordinating that?
Yeah, I mean, huge shout out to the Roadhouse team and the Roadhouse Rowdies over there in the game room. I know they're watching the broadcast with us right now. So shout out to Mike Squared, Midnight Cherries, and T-Show. I know they're watching this race, as well as Brandon Richard. But the Roadhouse team on track tonight, we looked fast. I mean, McFarland was up there early, got involved. John got involved early, fixed his car, gets a top 10, and I thought for sure it was going to be Ward P1, and we were going to go with him there, but gets collected with Brad coming into 3, and unfortunately doesn't get the finish he deserves in that car. But 4 really fast Roadhouse cars tonight all look great because of X Visions, and we get to park this Tube Tech ride in victory lane without a single bent tube on the thing. It's a 0X on the night, and I know a lot of guys finishing backwards across the start-finish line had a race like that, but when the whole field gets collected, there's not much you could do.
Scot-free and a pole and a win. Very few nights have gone better for you in this series, Tom. The win is yours. Next up on the calendar before we take 2 weeks off, North Wilkesboro. Any expectations to keep bringing the speed up?
Yeah, absolutely. We were able to get ourselves some internet that actually functions correctly and kind of rebuilt the PC here in the last couple of weeks. So this is the second race on what I would call a previously unproven setup, and it looks like it works here tonight. So I just love racing with these Integrity Racing League guys. If you're watching the league right now and don't participate, I'll be the first person to say it's a league that, despite how the finish was tonight, races with a ton of respect. I know I saw a ton of guys lifting, pushing in the right areas, giving and taking. We didn't see guys shoving it the through wide too much until we got to the end of the race there. Just an incredibly respectful league and super proud to be part of these guys. But man, we go to a short track next week, like you said, David, at North Wilkesboro. Who knows what we're gonna see? But I could tell you this Tube Tech number 51, she's gonna be fast.
Tom Wetmore, confident as ever, and with a race like this, reason to be. The Tube Tech crew wins from EchoPark Speedway. Any final shout-outs you'd like to send? The floor is yours.
Man, as I watch the replay on your stream right now, I just have to give one more shout out to Robin Steele Attorneys at Law. They certainly protected us from anything in that incident the same way they can protect you and your family with 3 scenic Phoenix area locations. And God bless it, I think we were the only one to make it through it and maybe Thurston without collecting something. So shout out to these guys for all getting it back to the start finish line, but proud to be the most fortunate tonight.
Big race, big night for the team. Tom Wetmore leads Roadhouse back to the checkered flag. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, David. Take care.
James Thurston did not win tonight, and by all accounts, a horrible final stretch. With 5 laps to go, he was sitting in about 22nd position. 2 laps to go. On the final restart, he sits 14th. James Thurston finishes second today in an unbelievable pull through the third overtime, but even still a strong race, even if the victory wasn't there.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't really know what to even say after that. I told you last week we weren't going to win this one, even though I feel like I did a lot better than I thought I would do throughout the whole race. I think I led the most laps. As far as the points race goes, I would say that the only thing missing was the win. Well, we didn't win the pole, and we didn't win the stage, but we got second in both. I guess we got second in, like, everything that mattered. So, you know, you obviously want to be first, but, you know, I guess second isn't too bad when you're in a points race. So, yeah, the comeback is, quite honestly, I can hardly even grasp how that happened, because I was running up front with about 3 or 4 to go, got turned, got some damage, and did not pit for it because I knew that this car kind of just didn't get affected by that the way that it works here on the draft. Like, if you're in the draft, it doesn't matter if you have a lot of damage. It'll still just pull you forward if you have a good motor and the alignment isn't too messed up. So that's kind of what I was doing, and they kept wrecking and wrecking, so I wasn't able to make, like, any headway on those first 2 overtimes. And then we got to the third one, they actually got going, and down the back, I was avoiding the 31 car because I saw him check up. So I went low just in case they started to crash, and then they did start to crash. And I just kind of backed it down and ran on the apron. And I was able to pass the whole field except for Tom. If they would have just collected Tom right there, we could have won the race. But, you know, you can't be too picky about that. Congrats to him on the win. And, yeah, I guess the second place after all that, you can't complain about, to be honest with you. But just goodness, man, I don't like this track.
By all means, still a good finish. I think the biggest shock of it all is getting through that last restart. But for you, a lot of drivers up in front alongside you. They had teammates. They were racing with drivers they knew. It's your first time in any super speedway style race in this league. So was there any feeling of being at odds or being at a disadvantage because of that?
I mean, I led the most laps, so I don't think that it really mattered. I don't I don't want to sound too arrogant, but, like, I mean, I don't really need teammates, and I don't really feel like teammates make a huge difference at this track. I mean, you can make some moves with guys that are willing to work with you, but they also have to be able to execute those moves perfectly. And if they don't get executed perfectly, then they're just kind of pointless, and they just fall back. It's not really the same as, like, Daytona and Talladega, where you really can link up as, like, a team. That's not really possible here just because of how tight the track is, unless people are running, like, single file and you're able to, like, pull out with 3 or 4 cars. So, you know, it's just kind of that kind of race tonight where being up front was kind of more important than having teammates, and I think that's what kept me so strong up until I got wrecked. I just wish that we could have fought for it more legit. I mean, I am happy with the second, of course, after the race we had, but I always want to fight for the win. I never want to just kind of luck into a good finish. I want to fight for it. But, beggars can't be choosers. Gotta love this luck that we somehow had at the end. We're going to see if we can carry that forward and finish one position better.
Well, with that said, Wilkes County, the next shot to go for victory. But until then, second place they're leaving us with. Any final comments or shout-outs you'd like to send before we head to North Carolina?
Yeah, just thanks to Power Smash Infinity Speed Motorsports. Gonna go ahead here to Wilkesboro. I like that track a lot more than this one. So we'll see if we can go ahead and get another win done there. Either way, I think it'll be more fun to drive. Hopefully, not a lot of wrecks. Well, I hope there's not a lot of wrecks. There probably will be, but I hope there isn't, because if there's not, it'll be a lot of fun. So yeah, we'll just look forward to that and see what we can do next week.
Well, James Thurston, second place from 14th, half a lap before the checkered flag. Big gains, and the points race keeps on going your way. Thank you for your time, James.
Thank you.
Last driver to speak to is a man who qualified today in 7th, had a solid run, but overall wasn't the most assuming of anyone on the circuit, still came away and out of the final wreck on the podium. Ryan Bean, strong performance, and it ends just 2 spots shy of the win.
Yeah, I got a little lucky there in the last yellow, but we'll take it however we can take it. A stage win and P3 is not a bad day overall, I guess.
Now, the big thing for you, the bonus points you're racking up. With the performance you put together, particularly because of winning the stage, you find yourself second in the championship now. How important was it for you to win that stage?
Oh, it was huge. I think I was even telling the boys in the Discord chat, so was that stage? I think that's the first one I've ever gotten. I was like, I don't ever plan on winning stages coming into these races, so the 10 points is carries a lot. I mean, it just jumped me a whole spot. I know the 4-car had a nice little gap on me, so it was great to close in on him. I don't think Ethan Lane's catchable by even Ethan Lane standards, so for now, the battle for seconds, I'm going to treat it like first, and then the chase will be here. So hopefully we can just keep up this momentum.
And all about getting those good runs back and forth. Tonight, pretty chaotic strategy, and really not too much to discuss. What was it like for you just trying to find your groove among the pack?
It was just chaotic. It was just so fast, and really, nobody's really going anywhere, but they kind of are. It's so weird. We were trying to explain it after the race in our team chat, and it was just so weird. It was fun and fast, but tires didn't seem to matter. It was really just all about being up front and just avoiding all the squirrels that were coming through the track and not being able to get into turn 3 correctly. But other than that, I am honestly shocked with you that I'm sitting here talking to you. I was totally expecting a top 10, but like I said, we'll take them however we can.
Now, next up on the schedule, we find ourselves going short track racing. That is going to be North Wilkesboro. Last time we went out there short track, you finished 4th at Bristol. Seems like it's fared well for you so far. What are the expectations?
Oh, qualify good. With these group of guys, it's going to be all about being up front early and just staying up there. With a track like that, I'm sure yellows are going to be abundant and very frequent. So I'm going to focus on some quality laps and then pray, I guess. It worked today.
Well, Ryan Bean, P3 on the day here from EchoPark. If you got any final shout-outs you'd like to send, it's all yours.
Yeah, shout out to the boys at Flying V. It was a good run all around, just minus that last track. Almost had some good positions all around, but shout out to Jacob and everybody in the league. Shout out to you. Hell of a broadcast. Can't wait to watch it back. I'm sure it looked exciting from your point of view. But yeah, looking forward to next week.
Ryan Bean getting the job done. Stage win and a P3 in the 28 machine. Thank you for your time.
Yep. Yeah.
For Ryan, it is a classic run to get right back up there. He'll take second in points. James Thurston goes second place and makes up 12 spots in the final lap. Tom Wetmore, at long last, finds his way to victory. It is his first of the season and brings Roadhouse Racing back up to the top of the charts at a track type they know very well, the SuperSpeedways. Well, with that said, next week we go at it again, but at a much different type of track, and that is the short track. North Wilkesboro Speedway in Wilkes County, North Carolina plays host to our next race on the schedule. It's going to count for points and then some, as it's our final race before the brief Integrity summer break. So make sure to stay tuned Tuesday night as coverage continues, and stay tuned to FTN Broadcasting for our next coverage of the Universal iRacing Series on Saturday and the NASCAR Gen 4 Cup Series that same night. We'll be back with more racing from the Integrity Racing League next week, same time, same place at 9 p.m. I've been your host, commentating and producing, David Kreutz. If you enjoyed tonight's coverage, make sure to leave a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel. Your support is always greatly appreciated. Congratulations to Tom Wetmore on his first win of the season. We'll see you all next at North Wilkesboro next Tuesday night. Thank you for tuning in. We hope you have a fantastic night.